Welcome back to the My Mindset podcast with me, First Timothy, and Dr Duce, man. We're here, we're in the studio, and we're here for a catch up. We're just gonna have a conversation, man. We're gonna talk. It's been a long time since we even posted on this channel, isn't it? It's been like 2 years?
2 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah, man, 3 years or something, which is crazy. And yeah, man, just excited to just, talk about new things and just, you know what I'm saying, like really catch up on, I think it's therapeutic just having these conversations, being in the studio and just keeping it real, man. These are real life scenarios, two people who's in this industry and just working it out day by day, man. So how you 100%. Been though, man? How you been?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Busy and as usual and enjoying it as well, enjoying it as well and finding it's always a challenge finding the balance between the hard grind in terms of the work, finding time to relax and do some leisurely stuff and exercise, and even like we were talking earlier about eating, even finding time to eat. It especially when you're driven, when you're really driven in what you do. Sometimes it's hard to find a balance.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How are you 100%. Finding it?
No, man, that's been my thing, man. This week, it's been a challenge to, like, that's been the conversation. That's been the challenge is finding a way to become organized. Finding a way to organize, even though we've got a lot of things going on. Just trying to, I mean, like we kind of talked about before, being organized is achievable, but it's not necessarily a destination. It's always something you're working on, isn't it? Trying to become more organized. So that's what, I'm just struggling to do that at the moment with all the different things we're doing, trying to make sure things get done more effectively or more efficiently. So that instead of doing things one at a time or doing one thing and then dropping it or doing one thing and then releasing it, I'm able to accomplish multiple things and then schedule it. And that way you can be more consistent in it. So I guess that's what I'm really trying to figure out. So like, what's your stance on trying to be just like, working on organization?
So as I've talked to you about before, organization and myself, we're not friends, we're not neighbors, we're not related in any way. I've always been terrible when it comes to organization. And one thing I have become a lot better at over the years is finishing things I've started.
Yeah.
So there was a time in my life where I would start something, be all in, and then before I finished that, I'd jump onto something and be all in. And I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, not finishing stuff. But with me now, I'm in that place now where I get into the mode, I make a decision, I have a somewhat of a plan, and I go after this particular thing. But what happens is, because I'm so driven and focused on that particular thing, other things fall off. There's never going to be a final destination with this. It's always going to be a work in progress for me, and I'm sure anyone watching who might suffer the same challenge would be able to agree that you cannot. The aim should always be to plan and aim to execute, but sometimes human nature causes us to just lose. Run off the road. You know what I mean?
So how do you think? Like, what's something we could like do to get better at it or improve it? Because I'm in a place where I'm like, I'm looking at all the things I need to do.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it as I go along, but it's almost as if I'm chopping and changing.
Right.
To get one thing done, or it's almost like I'm doing something until I reach a certain point, and then to take a break from it, I go and move on to a next thing. So how can I?
That's a great question. I reckon what I found, because again, it resonates with me what you're saying, and I have found a bit of that I've improved in my approach where that's concerned. And what I realized was I was doing too much. I was choosing to put too much on my plate because I knew I could do it all. If that one thing, let's say I had 10 things that I put on the plate to do, I had on my list to do.
Yeah.
I know every single one of those things I can actually do.
Yeah.
But I can't do them all and have them going at the same time.
Yeah.
And because there are so many things at play here. Time, first of all, and the resources and the energy and the effort. And it's like trying to do 10 things in a reasonable way. Maybe I should focus on 2 things and do them in an excellent way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I found that I was dividing my time and my being into too many strands, and it just was, a collapse at the end,
So you think like, so would you say, okay, so then maybe allocating days to like certain things, or because one thing I did try, because I don't want to sound like I've just not put no effort in actually trying to do it, because I used to have days where I would do specific things. So I would have a day where I'm doing studio for myself, have a days that I'm doing studio for anyone I'm producing with. Then I have days for the other business I'm doing. But then what I found is that maybe the day that I'm doing business, I finish sooner than I expect. Right. And I have much more music that I can do. But then that ends up turning into a habit where now that day is just me doing more music because there's not much. Do you know what I'm saying? Yes. So it's almost as if,
get it.
I mean, we're both, how do you want to say, like self-employed people who are working full time in this thing, and it's down to your schedule a lot of the time. So managing the schedule is what I think I'm struggling with.
I talked to my very good friend Anthony Charles. He's got his channel as well, Choices TV. Definitely worth checking that out, because his thing is about personal development and finding solutions for these exact same problems. And I talk to him practically on a daily basis. And what we do at the beginning of the week is we set our goals. I set my goals, he sets his goals, and we share the goals on using WhatsApp.
Yeah. And
we go through them, and we say, okay, this is what I aim to accomplish by the end of this. And these are short-term goals that we want to accomplish within a week span. All right.
Yeah.
And we don't sort of allocate and say, well, on this day, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. We just do the headline. And what's good about that is the accountability. Because when we're left to ourselves, Tim, we can chop and change as we go.
Yeah.
If we're just left to ourselves. But if, let's say, me and you said, okay, well, let's set some goals. What are you going to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish over the next week? You're going to really think about it, because you don't want me to feel like this is a joke, man, at the end of the week. So you're going to really think about what you're going to put on that list before you share it with me. Once you've shared it with me, now you're accountable, because when we do our check-in, I want to impress you. When I've shared my list with you, I want to impress you to say, yeah, look, Tim, I did it, man. Look at me. Good for me. I win. But at the same time, it gives me that sense of accomplishment and achievement. And if as well, and because we're competitive individuals as well, if I find that you are accomplishing and winning on your list, that makes me feel like I need to pick up and back up my ideas. And that's what has been happening with myself and Anthony for the last couple of years.
Oh, wow,
we've been doing this like every week. Sometimes other things get in the way, but that's helped me a great deal. So finding an accountability partner, that has been that I found to be quite handy. Yeah,
that's that. No, that's that. I even think that, like, I'm like, well, yourself definitely. Like, I think even if we started doing something like that, I think it's more of a thing where it's like just making sure that overall in this 7-day period, these things get finished
That's right.
and closer to finishing kind of
Yes.
thing. You know what I mean? Ready for the next week or whatever,
Yeah.
whenever the deadline is. But yeah, no, that's been definitely one thing on my mind. Trying to improve the way that we go about trying to be organized. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people as well who have loads of different things going on for themselves, especially in a time like this where you could anything is possible, anything is attainable online or whatever through the internet, innit? So people are doing different businesses and things like that. One of the things that someone had kind of taught me was to make sure you have 3 separate you could call them streams of income, you could call them like assets or business methods or whatever, just ways to bring in income. 3 separate incomes that are completely independent of each other.
Right. Yeah.
It was actually family member that family member. But yeah, he had mentioned that to me. He was like, yeah, like that should be the goal, which is why I'm ended up, you know what I'm saying, going down that road of having the music, having the fitness thing, and then you know what I'm saying, doing the online stuff as well.
Yeah.
So that is a big thing where it makes you, it gives you that kind of assurance. I mean, you have to be someone as well who's able to do a lot at once and effectively, because not everyone can do that. Or if you're building up one thing to a level that's sustainable, and then you build the next thing, and then you build the next thing one at a time until you have those 3 things. I think that's one of the things that helped me like organize my businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like organize my workflow and my career type of thing. So yeah, man, that's one of the things that I've kind of taken away from just learning to become more organized.
We're relaunching my mindset.
Yeah.
After a 2-3 year gap.
Yeah.
We've come along a long way since then. A lot has happened. And even the format, what we're doing right here, the way we're approaching it is very different. And for me, it's a lot more relaxed, you know? And even and this is me working on impulse now. So how about we set a little target for ourselves right now live?
Yeah.
So that when we next come on, we revisit
man, definitely.
the point about organization.
Definitely.
How, you know, and maybe even we could do it now and say, well, what thing would we want specifically to be better?
Yeah.
And how might we go about accomplishing that? So then when we come back, we can report on the progress.
Yeah, 100%.
You know
I've already got 2 things in mind that I know I immediately need to work on. So my 2 things, number 1, I mean, a lot of people like this idea of working hard and working long hours and things like that. But I'm definitely someone who can testify and say that that is not sustainable. I've tried it many times. I've actually done it and got sick till I couldn't move out of my bed.
I remember.
Yeah, grinding so hard, man. So one of the things that, with that being said, one of the things I want to work on is actually finishing with a strict time. Like I want to have a routine. I want to have a routine where I'm able to stick to and finish, whether that be I'm finishing the studio at 6 o'clock sharp and I actually make time for other things, whether that's family or chilling or, do you know what I'm saying, winding down. Because like, for example, last night I was in the studio till 2 a.m. I came out of the studio at 1:30, 2 a.m. And then I had to get up at 6:45, so 6:45.
Yeah.
It's killing me. Like I've been doing that for a little while now and I can't be doing that. So to summarize, I think what I want to be accountable for and I want us to, what do you call it, report back on? I want to be able to have a consistent week of finishing my 7 till, well, at the moment, my routine will be 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
Or 3 p.m. because it'll be 8 hours. A shift is 8 hours, isn't it? 9 to 5.
8 hours, yeah. Like 9 to 5.
9 to 5. So that's what I'm going off of. 9 to 5, 7 a.m. sharp till 3 p.m. sharp.
Okay.
That is my working hour in the studio.
Okay.
to do my online business in the beginning and then my
Uh-huh.
music work in the second half of the day.
Okay.
But stick to it.
Okay. So your cutoff is going to be what time you said?
It's going to be 3 p.m. because that's the 8-hour shift from 7,
3
isn't it?
p.m. Now, you see, again, I'm just going to tell you what's coming to me right now.
Yeah.
Inspiration, as we know, don't come like that.
And that's the thing, though, because I got in, like, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say. I came back from work, outside work, fitness stuff, and came back in the studio at 10 p.m. and finished at 1:30.
Yeah.
But my thing is this, though, Uncle.
Yeah.
I need to go sleep at some point. So I'm like, I've been doing it like this. And for me, it's like, when am I going to... I keep saying it. I keep saying I'm going to stop or finish at a proper time. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to actually figure it out.
No, I get it. And I get the principle like that you're in terms of using the model of going out to work, where people go out to work in an office or wherever they work.
Yeah.
And they're in an employed situation.
Yeah.
People who are employed, their work day is pretty structured.
Yeah.
Okay. People who are self-employed, their work day, there is no.
It's different every day.
And creatives like us, you can't turn it on and off between an 8-hour period. Like you can't switch on your creativity and inspiration between 7 a.m. and it shuts at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whatever it is. It doesn't work like that. And we know that. Maybe as a suggestion, the consideration might be, because the problem it sounds like for you is when to shut down.
Yeah.
So maybe the discipline is no studio, if it's studio work, no work after X time. So let's say it was 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. So you can do as much as you want or as little as you want between whenever in the morning and say 8 or 9 o'clock, whatever time you choose. But after that, that's it. Because by then you're physically and mentally spent anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's a long, long day. And if you get any inspiration, then you don't necessarily need to come into the studio to do it.
Yeah.
You can you got tools to be able to get the idea down without actually stepping in the studio. That's just a thought, you know?
I think that makes sense. I think okay, cool. This is my how we might have to do it then. I'll do the 7 till 3 p.m., which is mandatory office presence.
Yes.
We'll do that. Studio presence. Studio. And then the cut-off time for work.
Yes, that's it.
We'll do the 6:30, innit? Standard. Usually by 4 o'clock I'm done. Like, because we start early, innit? Both of us start early starters. Like, not on the way to work, leaving at 6. Like, we're working at 6, like that's 7 o'clock type of thing.
That's right.
So
that's it.
Yeah, 100%. No, I think that's okay. Cool. So then we'll say, boom, stick to a 7 to 3. In what do you say? In office.
Yeah.
And then
in
6:30 cut off time.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna write that down as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. I think that's one of the, I want to be accountable for. I want to be able to do that every day until the next time we have. That's important. That's important for me because I need to make sure that I'm being as productive. Like, you know, when people say, I've done a 9 to 5 of work, right? But how much of the 9 to 5 were you working? Actually working, deep work.
And that's the difference here, Tim. For a lot of people, they are at work from 9 to 5. For us, and that's their 8 hours. They're at work for 8 hours. We are working
for 8 hours.
It's a big difference. It's a big difference. We're working for 8 hours or whatever, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever it is, you know?
And I want to, my goal is to be able to stick to that until the next time that we have, time we have this link up, innit? Really? Because I just want to be really accountable, man. I want to take my productivity to the next level, but also not just always being tired. You know what I'm saying? Like being always, that's one thing that's really annoying. always being tired. I'm in a
Yeah.
phase where I'm actually like considering coffee because I've never, I
Wow.
don't drink coffee,
You don't drink coffee.
but I'm considering having coffee because obviously I'm just trying like, listen, man, this fleshly body, man, it doesn't keep up with the
Mate.
mind that the things I'm trying to do.
I'll tell you, man,
You know what I'm saying?
if if I didn't have any coffee in my system, I'd be lying on the floor right now.
That's a
You'll be
fact.
talking to yourself. You'll be talking. Yeah, man.
100%.
I've had to, and that's the thing. It's again because see, one of my problems is, and when I work with different people who are, I work with them, but they're not work. These people are most of the people I work with outside of my studio. They are in employed contracts.
Yeah.
They're employees. And I often say, I love to work. Now, that might sound a bit mad, but I have to then qualify it by saying, I love the work I do.
Yeah.
Yeah? I love the work I do. And therefore, it's almost as though I don't want to stop. The only thing that stops me is the tiredness, is the body, is the mind. It just fades, you know what I mean? Because otherwise I just keep going because I love the work I do.
Yeah.
And as such, because of the demands and because a lot of my work, I have to travel long distances when I go out. And in order just for safety reasons, I got to hit that coffee, bro. I got to drink the coffee, mate.
10 o'clock is your cut-off time.
Hey,
That's
cut off.
That is the cut-off
That's
time.
a shutdown. My brain is like, nah, you finish. I'm done. Like, irrespective of what I want, 10 o'clock.
Irrespective.
It's just,
doesn't matter how you feel, what you're trying to achieve, that is it for the day.
It's done, bro.
Yeah.
You know, because my day starts like very early. And I naturally, whether I'm heading out to do anything or not, I like to seize the day. I like to make an early start, you know? So that's
definitely. But even with that being said, what's let's talk about what your one's gonna be, you know?
So now that we've raised it again, this is good because when we came on here, there was no prep. I didn't have anything lined up. But I think what I'm in the process of doing, and this is something I've been looking at on and off for the last several months, but I've just started the process of securing some additional funding so I can do some more work in prisons as well as in the community. Like guys who have finished their sentences, they come out and, I do the mentoring outside and so I actually started an application yesterday, which if I'm not disciplined, if I don't stick to my discipline, it can turn out to be like something I just keep pushing aside. The deadline is next week Thursday to get this thing filled in and submitted. If I dedicated a day, I'd have it done. But I've got so many things on the boil. You know, it's like you always kind of push it back.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's too late and you miss it and you'd be like, I'll go for the next round. Do you know what I mean? Because you've missed it.
Yeah.
No excuses. I'm going to commit right now that I will, this is with the PRS Foundation, Performing Rights Society Foundation, one of their grants. So I'm going to commit to right now to completing that and getting it submitted. So when we next come on, I will be able to declare, yep, got that done. And I said it and I did it.
Yeah.
And hopefully, God willing, I'll receive the funding and the application will be of a standard that will in which case I'll be awarded the funding. But that's the
definitely.
mission.
No, that sounds good. That sounds good. So we got mine, the cut-off times, or rather the working hours. Just being more disciplined with the times that I'm in the deep work and then the time that I cut off my work for the day, which is the 7 to 4 and then end of day 6:30.
Yeah.
And then yourself making sure the application is done before Thursday. And then God willing, then we'll actually get the grant too, which will be great.
That's it.
Cool. Yeah, that's there, man. We'll got to stick with that one there.
Wonderful. 100%. Wonderful.
Yeah, that's on.
I mean, I know we don't want to run this on for too long, but just kind of in terms of just a quick roundup on what you're working on at the moment, you know, creatively and otherwise, maybe.
Yeah, 100%. So this week, there's a lot going on in terms of the music. So First Timothy, I'm dropping a visualizer tomorrow for My Heart, which is Friday.
Okay,
what day is it
brilliant.
tomorrow? Friday tomorrow,
yeah.
6th, 7th?
The 7th, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
Friday the 7th, for whenever you watch this.
There'll be a link on in the description for that, yeah?
Yeah. We'll put links in below as well. So if you wanted to check that out. So that will be up. And then in the next 4 weeks, you can we just finished Aaliyah Lara's song Follow You, coming out in like 3 weeks. I think it's 3-4 weeks. We just finished that one huge song. We're hoping for big things for that one as well. So we'll put in like pre-save links as well if you want to check that one out. And just see what we're really doing, man. We're really doing this in real time, in real life.
Yeah.
This isn't like, we're, you know what I'm saying, we're looking back on life. No, man, we're in the how do you say, we're in the machine right now, man. We're working right now, like active. You know what I'm saying? What about yourself?
Yeah. So as I've told you from before, I was so deep in creative mode as far as continuing to develop the YouTube channel, content for the YouTube channel, amongst everything else I'm doing outside of that. But now I've come to a place now where I'm ready to start releasing music again.
Yeah.
So composing, not just composing for to demonstrate in terms of my YouTube tutorials. This is music for release. So specifically writing, producing, and for release. So I'm hoping to have something finished by next. In fact, that's another thing actually. Yeah, let me put that on the list. I will have. I'm hoping that where are we now? We're just first week of March. So I hope we'll be able to check back in like soon. You know, maybe in a week or two or so, whatever.
Yeah, man. I'm here. Yeah.
But I'm hoping that I can make a declaration now that I'll have a song out by the end of the month. Yeah.
No, we're gonna do that.
I'll have a song finished. Yeah, so that's a commitment.
That's a commitment.
I'm making that live. This is live. This is me being accountable.
Yeah.
Right? Making myself accountable. Right? So by the end of the month, song will be out, and then there will be a link in the description. I don't even know what the song's called yet, but it will be done and it will be out. So there we go. That's it. That's it live.
Yeah, man. No, I definitely appreciate the time as well. And anyone like, you know, if any conversations that people want us to kind of touch on in the next episodes, because we're going to be doing this, I mean, as often as every month, hopefully even every 3 weeks, even maybe even sooner than that. Yeah. But we love to just be able to have conversation and bring out the wisdom in the week, man. That's kind of how I want to put it. And then
I love it.
Yeah. So
if you find value in what we're saying here, what we're doing here, and this new approach, just drop us a comment. I think the comments really do make a huge difference, because it's great for us to be able to link up and have and chill and talk, but it's also good to kind of hear what you guys think, you guys listening in. And like Tim said, any ideas that you might have, any conversational points that you might want to raise, that you might want us to raise, then by all means, you know, drop it in the comments. And remember to give the video a like, you know, and subscribe as well.
Yeah, man, subscribe. If you found that there was some value in this, if you want to join us on this journey, because like I said, we're going to be doing this frequently. And I think this is definitely something that it helps me, you know what I'm saying? It helps me with all the things that's going on. Wherever people are coming from, if you're coming from my music, or if you're coming from Dr. Duce's music or mentoring, man, tap in. We're going to be here. Like the video only if you feel like you got some value.
Yes.
Subscribe if you want to keep on this journey. And man, it's been First Timothy, Dr. Duce. Appreciate your time, man. Love for that.
Man. God bless. Take care.